The idea, insight, or secret you need for massive impact is just moments away. It's time to claim your career crown. The podcast where business owners and entrepreneurs share the keys to the kingdom to help you open the vault to your greater success.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Petite to Queen's Claim Your Career Crown podcast. Yes, I got it out. I'm your host, Lynn, the Joyful Sales Queen, and today I'm joined by, I have to tell you, an absolutely wonderful, wonderful guest, Julie Ann Meyer. And we're going to be talking about stop playing small, how to claim your space in media and business. Being shy about your business won't help you reach sales success. In this episode, we're going to learn how to empower yourself through media and grow your business. Now, if you get a ton of value in this episode, I'd love to invite you to subscribe, because after all, it costs nothing to subscribe. Now, I want to tell you about Julie Ann. Julie Ann Meyer is a media consultant, best-selling author, and sought-after speaker who helps thought leaders and entrepreneurs build visibility, credibility, and income through streaming television. As the co-CEO of 360 TV and founder of ARION TV, she leads a platform that reaches millions, giving changemakers the tools and stage to grow their impact. Julie Ann's coaching blends strategic media training with real-world monetization, making her a go-to expert for those ready to expand their message and their movement. Julie Ann, I am so thrilled to have you here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Lynn. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while now, and I'm blessed that you invited me to be here today.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I am thrilled to just dive in right now because this is such a fascinating topic for so many. What inspired you to get started as a media consultant?
It's a funny story. I fell into it. It was one of those things where I have been fighting the idea of TV for basically my entire life. It's always been put in front of me, be on the show, be on the show, be on the show. And I'm talking about reality shows, things of that nature. There's just people saying, do you want to be an actress? It's always been something that I've pushed away. And then COVID happens and I have to reconfigure my life. And long story short, I just finally said, okay, universe, where do you want me? And it was in media, and I get to be behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, everything in between. But really what lights my fire and sparks joy for me is helping other people live their legacy.
Wow. And that has got to be so rewarding.
It is because one of my superpowers is being able to see the magic in somebody else that maybe they might be slightly afraid to give to the universe, and help them, be their courage with them and for them until they can have it on their own.
Wow. That's great. So, getting to our topic, why is taking up space in media and business so important?
Oh, I love that question. Here's the thing. If you think about life, it's not just about us. We don't live on islands by ourselves. We are affecting people whether we realize it or not. So why shouldn't we be in charge of our own messaging? Why shouldn't we be in charge of what we have to give to the world? And who are you not to? I know that as an expert in certain things, it just comes naturally to us. So we don't think that what we know is of value because it's just natural for us. However, there are so many other people out there it doesn't come naturally for, and they are looking for you to help them. And who are you not to show up for them? So for me, it's more about being of service and not dying with my secrets inside of me. I want that to live on and move forward, and for other people to have the joy and the success that they desire and deserve.
Yeah, no. Well, that's beautiful. But as we're looking at this, I know that for some people and some business owners, they really struggle to claim, that their space, within the media environment and even in their business.
Yeah, they do. And here's something that's kind of fun and interesting. And I think that people tend to miss this aspect. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And for example, if you were to have your own podcast or your own streaming TV show, or you're doing lives or whatever it is, however you are showing up in the world in media,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be about your business per se. It could be whatever it is that you feel passion for. I'm going to give a perfect example. I used to live in New York City, and I did real estate in New York City, and talk about cutthroat. There's hundreds of thousands of real estate agents, and everybody is trying to climb on top of each other, and we all have bad reputations to start with. So you're already coming from a place from behind, like, no, I'm not trying to steal your money. Almost like a used car salesman. But here's the thing. I took a job working as a bartender because scared money doesn't make money. And I knew that if I had guaranteed cash coming in, I could relax in my day-to-day business. But something really interesting happened. People are like, oh, you're a real estate agent? Oh, you know what? I need a place, or my friend needs somebody. I'm going to give you their number. And I just bypassed all of that because they knew me, or they thought they knew me, but they knew me, they liked me, they trusted me because I was a bartender. So I wasn't trying to sell them real estate. And that's something that you could do too, because then you get to celebrate your passions and be a well-rounded person and things that you love. And why not talk about that? And then people will be like, you know what? I love golfing too, for example. And then, I want to work with her because she's a golfer and a mortgage broker. So, it doesn't have to be me talking about whatever it is that I do to make money. It could be me talking about my passions. And that's how I can convert people, because then they get to know who I am. They get to know me as a person, and I get to have fun while I'm doing it, because everything should be fun. It shouldn't be pulling teeth while you're doing it anyway, because you are exchanging your life for this. So it might as well be as much fun as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you're saying, because sales does equal relationships. I mean, and that's what, really makes the world turn. And it does, it lights you up, it fills you up. So I love what you're talking about. And it sounds like you may have a specific process. So I'd love to learn, how do you help business owners overcome those struggles, and what does that look like?
There's a technical aspect of things that everybody starts at a different place. And that's just learning facts and basically learning how to walk in the streaming television world. Whether it's streaming television, Facebook Lives, whatever the case may be, whatever your medium of choice is. And there's no wrong one. There isn't. What do you feel comfortable doing? What do you feel slightly uncomfortable doing, but you're willing to do, is a better question. But part of that is just reminding people and that who they are in their essence, and showing them when they have doubts. I'm kind of like a cheerleader that tells you the truth at the same time. So if you're not ready, I'm going to let you know how to get yourself ready. And part of that is, there's a few different things that I always teach. And one is, nobody's looking to see you fail. Nobody's out there critiquing you thinking, oh my goodness, she said, like all the things you're not supposed to do and say. Nobody's sitting there thinking that. They're thinking, what's in it for me? What are the kernels of wisdom or the joy or whatever it may be that they're looking for? That's what they're in it for. They're not there to judge you. And if they are, they're not in the game anyway. So why does it matter? It's like going to a homeless person and asking them for financial advice. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So it is really just about overcoming the stereotypical fears that most people have. And that happens to be one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I love that comment that you made about stretching. I mean, if it makes you a little uncomfortable, then, but you're, take that leap, the first is always the worst, and then it gets so much better. So I'd love to hear how 360 TV and ARION TV help business owners become more visible, in the media.
So ARION TV is distributed by E360 TV. So you can find my network there along with everything else. And so whatever it is that you're looking for, we celebrate independent content creators. And what that means is you have to have a mission, a message, or something that you want to give to your audience. We are not a shopping network. We are not a selling network. We are an impact network. And whether that impact is fun or it's educational is up to the host or the person that wants to have a TV show. But basically, having this is a way to gain authority, to be seen. Anybody in the podcasting world knows how hard it is to gain an audience. And it is, oh my goodness, it is so much extra work just to market and all of the things that go along with podcasting. For example, with us in the first 30 days, most people have between 4,000 to 6,000 viewers. Yeah, it takes a long time to grow on your own. Yeah. And we already have we've been around for 9 years. So if you really want to open up your base of people that you're impacting, then it's a great way to do it because you get seen. It's not social media. So I mean, you get to be on a 65-inch screen TV and people get to watch you from their couch. It's different than other options out there. And it does take, it's a commitment. So we do teach people how to monetize it and make it worth a while, but not necessarily in all the traditional senses either, because not everybody's in it for the idea of I have to sell this much by doing this. And if that's really your goal, then it's not relationship, and that's really not, it's not going to work for you.
Right.
I'm
Oh, it's all good.
I don't know why that happened. My phone is what happened. I am so sorry.
It's actually funny because, that's what happens when you're live. So
of course.
I love what you're talking about and how you can really share, your passion, your mission, and how you can really enlighten someone or broaden their viewpoints, or really deliver those teachable moments or those golden nuggets that they need in their life or their business. And so it sounds like E360 TV is really on a mission.
We absolutely are. We saw a place where there's a space where it's kind of like with music. There's so many talented artists out there, but very few make it to the level of Prince. Very few make it to the level of Taylor Swift. But that doesn't mean that what they are offering the world isn't worthy of the same sort of attention and the same sort of recognition. And so really, we just wanted to provide a cost-effective place where people can make the difference that they want to make and reach a bigger audience, because we work with people that do have a mission, that do have a goal, that are really trying to make the world a better place in some way. Yeah. And it's our pleasure to be able to do that in a way to fill that void where maybe podcasting is not the space for them, but they're not at Netflix level yet either.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's brilliant. So what is the first step the people who are tuning in and the listeners can take to begin owning their space in the media and business?
Okay, so the first step that people can take is to actually pick something. You don't have to go from 0 to 100 in the first try. You can actually pick something smaller and go from there. In fact, if you're unsure, I highly recommend doing things like Facebook or Instagram lives. I highly recommend that. Or you could start with something like doing YouTube shorts, because you're adding value, but it's not a huge commitment on your part. Because when you start doing a podcast or a TV show, you really have to be consistent in order for it to be worthwhile and to build that audience, because you really are trying to grow something. So my suggestion, the first one, is just to dip your toe in the water, see what you like, and not be afraid to not be perfect. Because here's the thing. First of all, perfect is boring. Nobody can relate to perfect. And you showing up should just be enough. Uh-oh, we got Lynn taking a moment. Anyway. So yeah, as I was saying, just go for it. Don't be afraid to not be good.
Yeah, I
Nobody
think that
started out.
authentic voice
Yeah,
is so important.
that's all it takes. That's all it takes. And when people are really just being themselves, truly being themselves, that's what hits home. I can't even tell you how many times I have spoken on stage and I've got all these truth bombs and knowledge gems that I'm dropping and I'm so excited about it. And when people come up to me afterward, they always, every single time, comment about something I said off the cuff.
Yeah.
It's never something that I planned on saying. It's just something I randomly said because it's authentic. It's truly where I am in that particular moment. So don't be afraid of that magic, because you being who you are is what attracts people, is what makes people listen.
That's so true. So Julie Ann, sorry, I got a tickle in my throat.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you wish I'd asked you today?
You're asking my favorite question. I would say that my favorite question, the one that I don't always get asked a lot, has to do with things that I would love for everybody to know and realize about themselves. And that is that you showing up as you is more than enough. You don't have to do things the way that everybody else does them, but you just have to pick something that works for you and give it a go. It doesn't have to be perfect. It shouldn't be perfect. And people love to see the progression of you growing as a person. If you saw where I started in the beginning as basically a homeless alcoholic, and now I'm running a TV network, you would never have known that about me. But I just started and put one foot in front of the other. And I don't tell people my past in order for sympathy. I tell them because if I can do it, you can do it. It doesn't matter where you are. You just have to decide who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world. So my advice and my thing that I wish you would have asked me would be just to really realize that just who you are as you are is enough. You don't have to change. You don't have to be somebody else to be successful. You just have to be you.
Yeah, that's so true. I love what you just said. And I am so with you there. Being authentic and being who you are and showing up that way, the genuineness just comes through. So Julie Ann, thank you so much for sharing Stop Playing Small, How to Claim Your Space in Media and Business. And I'd love for you to share with our listeners how they can find out more about you and connect with you.
So thank you for that. One of the best ways is through e360tv.com. That is our website. I mean, we are a streaming television network, but we also have a website. And you can also reach out to me at Julianne at e360tv.com is probably the best way to reach me one-on-one. There's plenty of ways that you can, I am like SEO crazy. You can find me on the internet. So there's a million different ways to find me. But I would love for you to catch some of the shows on E360 TV because there's so much amazing content out there. And if you're looking for positivity, that's the place to go.
All right. Well, I want everyone to do that. I've dropped that in the chat. Check out those shows and get that experience. And Julie Ann, thank you. And thank you to all our listeners. This has been a really informative discussion, despite my coughing. And I am so glad you all joined us. We really appreciate having you in our audience and providing these great interviews. And Julie Ann, thank you again. This has been tremendous. I really appreciate your being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. Keep up the good work.
What was your biggest takeaway from this episode? I would love to hear about it. It's important to share the things you love. If you loved this episode, a 5-star review really helps keep the podcast coming to you regularly. Also, if you want to get more sales strategies to grow your business, make sure you subscribe right now. If you want to get results even faster, I invite you to download my sales strategy checklist at petitetoqueen.com/checklist. This has been Lynn Whitbeck, host of Claim Your Career Crown. I'll see you next time.